All right, what's good, YouTube? We are back at it again. This time, I've been in Thailand for about a month, give or take a day or two. I might be off because I don't know how many days were in the prior month. But we've been in Thailand for a month. We're going to highlight the good, the bad, the ugly, some things that I wish I would have done differently, and all that. But before we move any further, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. The channel is growing and I'm so proud of that, and it is thanks to you guys who have been subscribing and supporting my content. And I'm always getting text messages from my friends and stuff like, yo, when are you coming out with another video? And I got some heat coming for y'all, but let's get into the video. So I guess we'll start off by going over what was the reason for why I left the States to come to Thailand. And the big reason for why I left the States to come to Thailand was that I was just unhappy. I was unhappy. I lived a very comfortable life. I had, townhome, mortgage was extremely cheap. Car was paid off. I had a wonderful job, really good friend group. But I was still unhappy. I was still unhappy, and I knew that I needed to make a rather drastic change in order to find that happiness. So with the idea of Thailand, I kind of bounced back and forth with it. I would say for the better part of maybe a year, where I would research and be like, oh, that would be a good option. Originally, I was thinking Portugal, but I kind of changed my mind on Portugal. There were other opportunities that came up of different places that people that I knew were a little bit more familiar with. So Belize was one of them. I thought, Mexico, because it was right there. I thought Panama, so there was a number of different options regarding places that I thought of relocating to. How I was able to relocate is I pretty much had served 10 years in the military. I've made some really smart decisions with my money, so it wasn't like I had to hop immediately into another career. If you watch my prior video, I explained how my career was connected to my military service. So subsequently, losing or getting out of the military mean I was losing my job. I am currently back in school, getting my master's in information systems. So, I do have some things that are definitely going for me. But most importantly, what I do have going for me is a large amount of peace that I have discovered moving here to Thailand. And I'm going to probably go over why that is as I continue with the rest of this video. So, even from getting here, I felt like it was a world of difference of where I was coming from. Just coming across people seem to be a lot more receptive to me as a person. It's crazy to think that you would leave and I'm not talking bad about America, because I am still American and I love America. And that's why I served in the service for over 10 years. But the feeling of going somewhere where people actually see you as a person compared to just being tolerating you. It was getting to the point where in the States I felt like I was just being tolerated. You understand? I was just receiving any type of level of service. The political and just overall climate, has shifted. And we're not going to go too much into detail because, there are a lot of different opinions. But I wanted to go somewhere where I could kind of take a step back. And what's funny is that I was actually speaking to another expat, because like while I'm here in Thailand, if I'm walking around and I see somebody that kind of looks like me, I will of course acknowledge them. Sometimes go a little bit out of my way to say what's up, because I know what it's like to be over here and not see anyone that looks like you. So I ran into this other dude walking over to the grocery store, and he had said something that was so profound to me. And he said that he felt that Thailand had a certain level of healing power. And what is so weird about when he said that is I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I felt exactly how he felt. When you don't have the stress or the day-to-day stress of worrying about micro and macro aggressions, I feel like it's like all of a sudden I have all this extra time in the day now. I'm not worried about the little stuff. Just alone this morning, I done woke up, I done did homework, I done went to the gym, I done made breakfast, I done took a nap, I done handled other affairs. It has been such a tremendous weight lifted off of me. The people are phenomenal. Of course, the price is in most cases, because when you start getting down to like the grocery store, if you're buying things that like traditionally, like some of the fruits, depending on where they're coming from, they could be more expensive because they're being shipped in. If you're buying like more like Americanized items and stuff like that, some of those are a lot more expensive as well because of where they're coming from. But for the most part, you definitely can make, you can sustain, and you have a higher quality of life. As I highlighted in my last video, like my rent is $497. I went to go pay my electricity bill. Now I think they may have pulled the meter. It might have only been like 15 or 20 days, but it was $10. Like, there's not a fee to the fee, then an after fee, and then a fee to pay that fee. There's none of that. I took it right over to 7-Eleven and I paid it. And it's just this, for me personally, an overwhelming feel of accomplishment. Even when I was getting here, it was, it really hit me because it was like, yo, you're finally doing it. You've been talking about it for such a long period of time. There were some people who honestly did not believe me. They did not believe I was leaving, which I always find to be funny because everything I've ever said that I was going to do, I've done. But, it is a real large sense of accomplishment. The area in the place is beautiful. Again, the people are phenomenal. Services, like I remember telling people when I was originally coming over here, and you would have thought, or the way they were reacting was as if this was a third world country. And it's like, yo, it is nothing like that. Anything that I need, I can literally have delivered to my doorstep. There's stores everywhere, cafes. I mean, in some aspects, they're more advanced than we are back home. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. So, it has been wonderful. I'm sweating a little bit because I didn't want to turn on the air conditioning because I didn't know if you guys would be able to hear me or not. But, it has been wonderful to embark on this journey. I was very fortunate to get in good with groups because I'm in the VA group for Thailand, and I'm also in a very popular group called Brothers and Sisters That is brothers is BROTHAS and sisters is SISTAS, of Thailand. And it has different branches depending on where you are. So of course I'm in the Bangkok branch, and we do all types of different events. You may have seen the goat karting event. I did not film the one for the brunch because I was too busy eating and drinking. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I completely forgot. By the time I took a video, everybody was up, socializing, mingling, and then it was almost time for us to go. I got it. I know, I was supposed to be filming videos and stuff. I didn't gotta always do it. I gotta always do it and everything. But I think I do have a few videos which I'll probably, add to this. But it's been a beautiful experience. I could not have wanted for more. Honestly, I feel like this has been the best decision that I may have made. I don't want to say in all of my life, but it was one of the best decisions that I think it might be teetering on one of the best decisions that I ever made. I am very happy with my decision. I'm very, very happy, which is one of the questions a lot of people tend to ask me is, are you happy? Are you happy? And, my feelings towards happiness is always subjective, right? You have bouts of happiness. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not happy. But one of my fears was, and I was joking with someone from my leadership, and when I was telling them that I was making this move to Thailand, due to almost in a sense a pursuit of happiness, they joked around with me and they said, well, what happens if you get there and you realize that it's not the place, but the person? And, we all laughed, but in that moment, it was so, what that person said was so valid, it almost shook me to the core. What happens if I make this move and I realize, wait a minute, it's not where you were, the issue lies with you. So I mean, listen, the verdict is still out for that one. So I'll keep you posted. But I mean, it seems to be that a big part of my mental space and just my overall happiness has been elevated just simply due to a move. We sit around and I was talking to a few people because we did the brunch, which I told you about that I didn't film any videos for, and just talking to some of the people that had moved from the States. Ironically, I met a couple from Atlanta and on the same page. You get out of the rat race. You stop playing keep up with the Joneses. I'm out here, I'm wearing shorts and sandals, and I'm just chilling, or slides. But it has just been a beautiful experience. Kicking it over, there are some things that it's kind of like the drinking water. You can't drink the water, which sucks because it is so hot. So the price of water isn't really that expensive. You can just run right down the street to 7-Eleven and pick up some, but it becomes a hassle sometimes, even getting it delivered, and I gotta lug it all the way up the steps. And but the drinking water is, you can't drink. Another thing which a lot of YouTubers were explaining, so I was well aware of prior to me getting here, is the pollution. Now, the thing is I was like one of the type of people who were like, oh, wow, how bad can it be? I won't say that it's like being in the desert with sand blowing all around, but it gets heavy. It gets heavy. there are times where, you know, I breathe in and I'm just like, whoa. Like, you understand, it is a different, it's different. The air quality is completely different. So, you know, the water, the air quality, and if I had to do one more, because I can't even really sit here and argue, you know, communication differences, because we knew that. I came over to Thailand, like, what was I going to expect? So I'm not going to add that one because I feel like that's not fair. But the last one by far is the traffic. The traffic is, I mean, I originally told myself that I wasn't going to, when I got out here, I was like, no, I'm not gonna ride any on the motorbikes or anything, because of how dangerous it is. You know, people have gotten into a lot of accidents, and, you know, their rules and regulations are a lot different. You know, they also drive on the opposite side of the street. So it's a completely different world. I ran out one time to run some errands, and it took me over an hour to get home during rush time traffic when it should have been no more than 10 minutes. The bikes have a way of really being able to zip in and out of traffic. And ever since I got over that initial fear, I have never went back. There is no going back. Like, this is it. It's you know, I didn't choose bike life chose me. So I have been, you know, I call it a passenger prince, on the back of a motorbike, and I mean, it's phenomenal. And then the price, you can't even beat it. Like, half the time it's like $1 or $2 to get wherever you need to be, and I'm going 20-30 minutes out. So, you know, bike life, thumbs up to bike life, thumbs down for traffic. Somebody is blowing me up. All right, let me handle some business or whatnot, but, you know, I do appreciate y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna be back in a little bit. I'm gonna get this video out to y'all. And of course, thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. I love and appreciate all y'all, and I'm gonna see y'all at the next one.